I was thinking about something that maybe nobody else thought about, but I was thinking about this earlier today. Why did Yahuwah choose Yahusha to come out of the tribe of Yahudah instead of the priestly tribe of Levi? Things to make you go, Well, let's look at it in Scripture, because this is one of the most important mysteries in all the Scripture, and it's intentionally designed by Yahuwah. The choice of Yahudah, not Levi, was not an accident. It was a revelation. Well, because the Levitical priesthood could never complete the work. The Torah itself declares that the Levitical priesthood was temporary, limited, and incomplete. The priests were mortal. They died. They needed atonement for themselves. They have offered daily sacrifices because nothing they did ever brought final perfections. Hebrews 7:18 calls the Levitical system weak and unprofitable because it could not make the people perfect. This is not an insult to Levi. This is a revelation of Yahuwah's plan. The Levi priests maintained the covenant. They could not perfect the covenant. Only someone greater than Levi could do that. Because the Messiah needed a higher internal priesthood, Scripture points to a priesthood older than Levi, higher than Aaron, and not connected to genetics. The priesthood of Melchizedek, king of righteousness, as in Genesis 14. A king and a priest, no genealogy listed, eternal, not temporary, above Abraham. Hebrews 7 says Yahusha is a priest after the order of Melchizedek, not Levi. This is crucial. If Yahusha came from Levi, he could not be Melchizedek's priest. Levi is earthly priesthood. Melchizedek is heavenly priesthood. Yahuwah chose Yahudah so the Messiah would not be tied to the limitations of the Levitical systems. Because the Messiah must be both king and priest, no tribe had both offices until Yahusha. Levi was the priest, Yahudah was kings. Yahuwah never allowed the kingship and priesthood to mix under the old covenant. This separation was intentional, but the Messiah would unite both offices in perfect righteousness. In Zechariah 6:13, he says, he shall sit and rule on his throne. He shall also be a priest on his throne. Only Yahudah had the throne promised forever, as in 2 Samuel 7. Only Melchizedek's order had a priesthood that could join with kingship. So Yahusha came through Yahudah to inherit the throne, and he received the priesthood not by tribe, but by divine oath. Yahuwah has sworn, you are a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek, as in Psalms 110 verse 4. This unites the crown and the priesthood in one man. Because the Messiah must fulfill the promise to David, Yahuwah made a covenant promise to David. A son from David's line, a throne that lasts forever, a kingdom with no end. This could only come through the tribe of Yahudah. If the Messiah came from Levi, he could not be the son of David and could not legally sit on David's throne. Yahuwah keeps his covenants. So Yahusha had to come through Yahudah. Because Yahusha came to bring a new covenant, the priests of Levi served the old covenant. But the Messiah came to bring a new covenant. Hebrews 8:6 says he is the mediator of a better covenant. The Levitical system belonged to Sinai. The Messiah's priesthood belongs to Zion. The old covenant required earthly priests, earthly sacrifices, and earthly temple. The new covenant required a perfect priest, a perfect sacrifice, a heavenly temple. Levi could not bring that. Yahudah and Melchizedek could. Because salvation must come from Yahudah, in Genesis 49:10 prophesied, the scepter shall not depart from Yahudah, unto him shall the gathering of the people be. The deliverer, ruler, shepherd, and king would come from Yahudah. Even the name Yahudah contains the divine name Yahu, and Yahusha bears that name perfectly. So in summary, Yahuwah chooses Yahusha from Yahudah because Levi was temporary, Melchizedek is eternal. Yahusha needed to be a king, only Yahudah holds the throne. Yahusha needed a perfect priesthood, not tied to genetics. The Davidic covenant required a Yahudah descendant. The new covenant needed a higher priesthood, and salvation was prophesied to come from Yahudah. Levi maintained the shadows. Yahudah brought the substance. Levi carried the symbols. Yahudah gave the fulfillment. Now you learn something new.